The dawn of man. When did humanity actually begin? Hi everyone, Neostorian here, with a video about a tricky question. When did humanity begin? As this is my first, let's say, proper video, I decided to go back to the start of us. This is a topic that has fascinated me because it is so hard to find a definitive answer on it. So without further ado, let's dive into this a bit further. The story starts around 2 million years ago with this handsome guy named Homo erectus, thought to be the earliest known human ancestors to have possessed modern human-like body proportions with relatively elongated legs and shorter arms compared to the size of the torso. This species spread throughout Africa and Eurasia, with remains even turning up in a cave in China. This has given rise to an interesting theory that as Homo erectus spread throughout these areas, it may be the direct ancestor to many different offshoots, such as Homo heidelbergensis, Homo antecessor, Homo neanderthalensis, Homo denisova, and Homo sapiens. Homo erectus are known to have used stone tools, and it is also speculated that even though they mostly communicated through grunts and hand gestures, they also had a primitive language and were able to speak at least a few words. A lot of people could argue that this is a sure sign of the start of humanity, but this is still too primitive for my liking. The next step towards humanity is Homo heidelbergensis. The species derived from and pretty much replaced Homo erectus about 500,000 years ago, although fossil records show that Homo erectus may have survived on the island of Java until as recently as 140,000 years ago. Homo heidelbergensis is the closest link we have to Homo sapiens at the moment because of a huge 140,000 year fossil gap between 400,000 and 260,000 years ago. We cannot be sure of the connection. This species are thought to be the first to bury their dead. 28 skeletons were found in a pit in Antequerca, Spain. A big leap forward for Homo heidelbergensis is that they hunted with sophisticated tools such as spears and were the first to build permanent shelters. They had wide bodies in comparison to other hominids, which helped them endure colder temperatures, a characteristic also seen in their descendants, the Neanderthals. Now we get to Homo sapiens, modern humans, or we can just refer to them as us. Because of the huge fossil gap, it is still unclear as to the direct connection between Homo erectus and Homo sapiens. We do know that Homo sapiens emerged around 300,000 to 200,000 years ago in Africa, about the same time that Neanderthals emerged in Europe. Our ancestors did not stay in Africa for long though, with the first migration said to be as early as 250,000 years ago. They dispersed throughout Europe and Asia, eventually even reaching Oceania 50,000 years ago. While travelling the globe, Homo sapiens met and interbred with other hominids such as Neanderthals, Denisovans, and some of us still have part of these archaic humans in our genetic makeup to this day. So we have looked at what brought us to this point, but what changed us from simple hunter-gatherers to the dominant species on this planet? This is where I like to think humanity began. There is a term in the scientific community called behavioral modernity. This is used to describe how modern humans, like you and me, behave. Things like art, religion, and language come into play. Intricate inventions such as the spear thrower, which required complex thought and understanding, can also be used as evidence as to when behavioral modernity arose. It is debated whether behavioral modernity began with the dawn of our species or developed gradually over time. I like to think it was the latter, each generation learning and improving on the one before. Being a Homo sapien myself, it just feels like a kind of natural progression. My theory is that humanity began when behavioural modernity seems to have developed fully. This is known as the Upper Paleolithic period, which occurred around 50,000 to 40,000 years ago and lasted until 10,000 years ago. In this time, all other hominids died out, cultures and civilizations arose, and the Ice Age came to an end. 10,000 years later, and you're watching this on your computer or one of your many devices that we have today. These are my thoughts on the subject, but I know that many of the points I have made are open to debate. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and please like, share and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon.